Tony, your guys appeared to be locked in defensively from the start. How big a concern was Tech's three-point shooting coming in?
A big concern. I thought we prepared well, practiced hard. We knew with their ability, to play. Their five shoots the three well. Horn does. Nolly is really good he's a redshirt first-year freshman. So that put pressure on you at the 5 spot, the 4 spot. Hence, Braxton's job was crucial, and then Momedy had to be there, and then the other guys can get going. So we were locked in. Did they miss some open shots? Yes, but did we make them shoot contested shots the majority of the time? Yes. So I thought, we first got our defense set and all the things that needed to happen for us to be effective defensively against a team that is dangerous. You watch what they do to some teams when they get going, and it was, I thought our guys came ready to go.
Tony, apologies for missing the last game.
I think it was a great reason.
You don't know where I was. No, I wasn't.
Oh, that's true. Well, that's it's a family show. Come on, let's go. No.
What was the adjustment on Nolly that allowed you guys to be so much more effective defending him in the second half?
Yeah, I just think you could see if he got any space. Their releases are so quick. So it was more of Braxton just doing the job. He was there a touch quicker and was there. He took the challenge and he just didn't allow him to get as much separation and as much time on his shots. We tried to really spread out a couple times. There were some switches, but he really had to earn. So I think, did he have 3 in the second half or 6? I don't know how many points he scored. So yeah, I think that's a credit to the individual matchups and the guys being a little more aware, and maybe the other guys doing a better job at times of not getting beat. So Braxton had to help a little more. So all that goes hand in hand.
Tony, Kihei today seemed to be a little more aggressive, looking for a shot when he got in the lane rather than getting in trouble. Was that a conscious thing that you guys have talked about?
Yeah, he played terrific, both ends of the floor. We tried to open the court a little more for him, let him attack, make some decisions, and he was really good. And I was proud of the way he battled, as were some other guys too, as we talked about it. But his pressure he put on both ends, offensively and defensively, certainly was one of the major keys to victory.
Hey, Tony, Virginia Tech's not a team that typically turns it over. I think they had 2 the last game. You were able to force 13 today. Kind of what was the pressure that was working?
Yeah, we just tried to be as active as we could. We're inexperienced and young in a lot of spots at times, and as they are, and sometimes that it just games, if you're watching college basketball this year, games can go unpredictable ways, and the ability to just not give them the easy stuff and then be as active and in a position when they tried to drive and make the next play. And I thought, again, our guys did a good job. Steal-wise, it wasn't, nobody really took, but it just, that's the most active our hands and our feet have been. And I think collectively we were solid defensively, knowing, again, at any time they can get it rolling with 4 or 5 guys on the perimeter.
Tony, with Braxton's 10 boards today, has maybe rebounding been the biggest challenge with that offhand wrist just because of the pressure?
Well, maybe he today he was in for the first time he went to a splint, more streamlined. So he was, first it was sort of the club cast, then it was a more streamlined cast, and then today it was a splint with padding around it. So even more mobility, dexterity, whatever you want to say. So I think that helped. I don't know if it was rebounding or maybe before the dribbling and catching, but as I said, it's just a process you get more and more used to. Someone has some beautiful twins here. Whoever this is ever phone. That's yours. There you go. All right. Are those Virginia Tech hats they're wearing? Or
no,
not?
they're turkey hats. Thanksgiving.
Okay, Thanksgiving. All right, that's what I share. This is adorable, though. I'll tell you that much.
My wife won't let the Hokies stuff in the house. So.
Coach, you mentioned after the Navy game that you guys were trying to get into your offense a little quicker.
Yes.
As you go forward, is that still something you see some results with? Is that something
Sure.
Getting into it a little bit more today too?
Yeah, we only had 4 transition, but just sometimes if there's a miss or a natural to get down the floor and to either get into your offense or take something that's quality that's there, for sure. I think that's something that did take a step in the right direction, and I think it was good today. That was guys played a lot of minutes on both teams, and there was some fatigue, and it's so much physical and mental. And can can you play as hard as we need to defensively? And then if you can get a stop, can you have enough mental, physical energy to get down the floor quicker and go? Now that we got rid of that bum Ty Jerome, and that we can get down the floor faster. No, I'm just kidding. Ty's probably like, well, why didn't I get to go this fast, Coach? Knowing him, so I think he's doing okay though where he is.
I know you mentioned earlier the 3-point defense you guys were able to put down tonight. How important, especially in transition, was that getting back in transition and preventing them from getting those transition threes?
It's awareness. They as I mentioned, their releases are so quick on a number of their players, and their percentages don't lie. And you watch what they did, obviously, to a very good Michigan State team, and just watching them even at their last game. It's just being back and being as ready as you can with. It's not just about being there. It's about how quick you're there with your hands to close the space or the window that they have. And again, I'll look at the tape, and maybe there were some. I know there were some that they just missed, but our percentages were better today than they've been, especially against this team.
Yeah, could you talk about Cody's development? Plays 33,
Sure.
more than 33 minutes. I don't know.
Those are highs for him in both points and rebounds.
What have you seen? Where has he improved the most?
I think defensively, he really has. Last year coming in, and it was very foreign to him, and he just wasn't able to slide as well. But he is 6'7", and he's bouncy, and his ability to bother some shots, to keep guys in front. I thought he made an adjustment from the South Carolina game, but he was good. And then offensively, it's such a new experience for him. I know he hardly played last year. We were almost going to redshirt him, but we didn't. And so his length and his willingness to guard, I think we had to go against a small team, we had maybe our best defensive lineup on the floor. It was hard to play our traditional at times because of who they were, but we started that way. And I thought he did that and, made a couple nice plays, got his own rebound off some drives. So I was really encouraged by that step for Cody.
Did you think this is a game you would need a contribution from Chase Coleman, and what did you think of his performance today?
I thought Chase gave us a lift. He's kind of a gamer. When I played him against, I can't remember if it was UMass or Arizona State or different games, he's very quick, and there was really good quickness out there. He gave Kihei a breather, but then I put them in together, and it was okay because we could match their quickness, just can handle the ball. And, that's a walk-on first year. It's just where, the way things happen and the opportunity he's getting, he's doing a really good job. So I chewed him out because he got beat off the dribble. I said, you've got to keep guys in front. But I thought he was really good, and he's got a good mind for the game. He wants to be a coach. Don't know why, but he wants to be a coach. And he thinks the game well, so he gave us a very nice lift.
Tony, I know you talked about it a little bit after the Navy game, but did you detect any kind of amped-up focus for your guys coming into all ACC all the time?
Well, I think we practiced well and hard for the most part, and I'm sure you're playing Virginia Tech, who I certainly respect Coach Young and the job he's done this far in the program, and then this is you're starting it, and we were fortunate to get off to a 2-0 start. This is there, so in-state rival, great crowd. All that, I'm sure that helped, but as a coach, you want them to be locked in for every game. But they seem to know what was at stake, and every game is so important for this group. So there was a solid days. Now we got 2 days to prepare for Boston College.